Teddy covers with us. Oh, yeah. What's up, brother? You're on the betting edge with the Prez. I'm he, Lawrence Presman, the man who signs your checks. What's going on?
Hey, Lawrence, how are you today?
I'm excited, dude. I begged you to be on this show. I'm like, Teddy, please, please. I miss you already from the college football betting show. It's only been 3 days. Please, Teddy, please. And?
Here I am.
But you charged me, dude. You're like $1,000.
Take the under.
Yeah, well, given that I would pay you $0 to come on my shows, you're damn right.
When you start paying me $1,000 a podcast, maybe I'll get more interested.
Oh, okay. Well, noted, dude. Noted. You know what? I look forward to the day that I'm paying you $1,000 to do a podcast.
Me too.
So we're going to take apart all the NFL games. There's 4 of them, Teddy. Oh, yes, there are. But before that, I want to give out a promo. This promo is only for the next couple of days, guys, and it's a really great offer. Any handicapper you want, either at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, $40 off of their next 7 days of plays. Use the promo code SAVE40. $40. Teddy, tweet that out. You going to tweet that out?
At some point.
Yeah, save $40 off of the next 7 days of any person's plays. So, dude, how have you been?
Busy, Lawrence. How about you?
Busy, Teddy. Did you have a good New Year's?
It was okay. It was fine. I didn't make it to midnight.
Oh, well, I did, and then I left at 12:10 and came home and went to bed.
Exactly. That's where we are at this stage in our lives, brother.
You know what? I'm proud, dude. New Year's was something I didn't even really care about when I was 20. It was just an excuse. It's an excuse for people who don't have a social life to find one. No?
I don't know. I didn't do anything. It's not like I went out.
But that's because you have a social life. You didn't feel the pressure. If you're rocking and rolling all year round, what do you need to make New Year's Eve some big event?
What kind of social life do you think I have, dude? You have a social life. You go out and do stuff. I work. Yeah,
okay, and that's why we love having you at WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Remember, everyone, next 7 days of plays, all sports, all plays, 7 days, $40 off. Use the promo code SAVE40. Teddy, we're going to race through this card, brother. Houston against Buffalo, -2.5. There is a 3 on the board here, and the over keeps getting bet up. Let's really hone in on the total on this game and talk about that. It came out at 41. It's now at 44. What are you hearing? I mean, that's a pretty substantial line move for a total.
Yeah, I mean, there's at least modest correlation between Buffalo and under. All right. The Bills haven't won a lot of high-scoring games this year. And if this game is played the way that Sean McDermott wants it to be played, it will be a low-scoring defensive struggle, and the Bills will be live to win the game. That's what Buffalo has done. We're talking about a team. They didn't get to 30 twice this year.
Yeah.
But they haven't scored more than 17 in a game since November. Okay. And I know that Josh Allen can chuck the football downfield, and the Bills do have downfield playmakers. But you ask Sean McDermott how he wants to play this game and how Buffalo hangs around, he's not looking for a shootout. And in that regard, the Bills' defense certainly has the potential to keep Houston's big play weapons from making the type of plays that they've made to get the Texans into the postseason and get the Texans another division title. Buffalo has been excellent at avoiding big plays allowed on defense. So if you say for the Bills side of the equation, you like the Buffalo side, you like the underside in this game. I think that is there's absolute correlation between the two. If you like the Houston side, I don't think there's any correlation because the Texans have shown that they can win games when the offense is clicking, and they've shown they can win low-scoring games when the defense takes care of business. So I think if you like the Buffalo side, you may want to try to maximize your investment with a Buffalo under parlay. That will, I don't think the Bills can win if this game's a shootout. Now, could they cover the number and then lose to 24, 23 and it goes over?
Yeah.
Sure. That's possible. But Bills and under, there's some correlation there for sure, at least in this bettor's opinion.
But Teddy, I mean, this line has moved so high. There has to be a ton of money coming in on the under to move a line from 41 to 44. I'm being told 50% of all tickets are written on the over. So it's half and half. There's got to be some incredibly smart money coming in on that over. And I'm with you, dude. I look at this game and I think to myself, this is an under game. Buffalo is not really allowed, 70-yard breakout runs, 50-yard, long bomb throws. They're going to be all over Deshaun Watson. He's not going to have a ton of time to get that ball downfield. And when they have the ball in their possession, they're going to slow this game down to a crawl. I'm thrilled this line has moved up. I'm looking at the under in this game.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Texans aren't necessarily an under team. All right. And when we look at this line move, I mean, this line move wasn't jumping, this total move, I should say. It wasn't jumping off the opener, Prez. Ticked up off the opener, ticked up again, ticked up again on New Year's Eve, ticked up again on New Year's Day. This wasn't one group coming in and saying, we're going to take everything out and pound it up to 43. It's been, flicky moves. For whatever that's worth. That's a different level of respect according to those line moves than I would had the screen turned black and everyone popped and all of a sudden this number moves 2 points right off the get-go. It hasn't been there. When we look at the tech, and again, the total likely to move, if there's one guy who's going to move the total in this game, is Will Fuller. And if Fuller's going to play, that really changes the Texans' offensive capabilities. If Fuller's not going to play, it limits them. And, you look at Watson's number with him on the field, they're extraordinary. You look at Hopkins, the other receivers for the Texans all get better with Fuller on the field. He's still officially listed as questionable. I've heard conflicting reports as whether he's going to go or not. But certainly the market move towards the over, the initial market move to the over. And remember, we've seen a little bit of buyback. It was 44. Now we're looking at 43.5 again. So that move towards the over has been mitigated. There's under money that's come in, and it will continue to move based on the Will Fuller injury information, I would think, between now and kickoff.
He's Teddy Covers. You can find him at Sports Memo and WagerTalk. You can have $40 off of the next 7 days of all his plays. Use the promo code SAVE40. We're going to do a promo change. And there it is. We'll talk about it in a sec. Teddy, let's stick with totals. Tennessee and New England, again, a lot of movement. We had it come out at 42.5. It's now 44.5. And you look at this number, and I'm thinking it's too high again. New England is struggling to score. We've seen that. Brady has no weapons, nor does he have any arm strength left. And Tennessee is going to slow this game to a crawl, except for a few big play action passes from Ryan Tannehill. I think this game is going to be a ball control game. I think it's going to be tight. I think we'll see the teams move the ball up and down inside of the 20s, but I think we're going to see a lot of field goals in this game. I like under the total of 44.5. And again, I don't understand this line move. Fill us in.
Okay, who's the number one over team in the NFL over the back 3 months of the season?
Tennessee.
You got it. Titans are 9-1 to the over their last 10 games, and they're flying over.
Yep.
For two reasons. One is that their red zone offense has been the best red zone offense in the NFL since Tannehill took over for Marcus Mariota. And you say, how can that be? Well, when you're dual threat in the red zone, you score touchdowns. All right. And with Derrick Henry's a beast inside the 10-yard line. And when you have a QB who's making plays, and who can chuck the football in the end zone, and you have a running back who can get there, and an offensive line that's playing well, you score touchdowns in those spots. That's what the Titans have done. They've been the most efficient red zone team in terms of touchdown percentage by a wide margin since Tannehill took over for Mariota. Now, again, I think there is correlation here. The Patriots correlate with the under. All right. New England is not a high-flying offensive team. We're watching the ghost of Tom Brady right now. Maybe not the same way we watched the ghost of Peyton Manning.
No, that
in his
was
final year.
unwatchable.
Yeah, well, the Patriots needed this bye week. I'll just put it that way. Brady needed this bye week. And note the difference between Brady in December and, say, Drew Brees in December, because Brees had 5 weeks off or 6 weeks off when he got hurt.
Brees got a new haircut, dude. I don't mean to interrupt, but dude looks young, man. Like he's aging in reverse.
Well, I'm getting a haircut this afternoon, so Lord knows I need it. But I'm not going to look like Drew Brees, and I'm not going to look young when I get it.
Ba-boom.
Now you distracted me. What are we talking about? Patriots, Titans? I
Yeah, dude, you were talking about the ghost of Tom Brady and
No, you were talking about Drew Brees' hair was what you were
yeah,
talking
because I like to change topics all the time on you.
Yeah, you like to get me off track, and then I lose track of where I was, and then, there's a lot of stuff whirling in this brain.
Okay, well, whirl around about the Patriots under or over.
I want to whirl around Drew Brees' hair right now. At least he doesn't have that howdy doody cut anymore. Again, not that I should talk. So, the Patriots, there's correlation between the Patriots and under, being that this is not a dynamic offense at this stage of the campaign. And it's pretty clear. And the fact they didn't have the bye week means they won't have the extra prep time to perhaps make the adjustments to make it a dynamic offense going into this week's game. The question is New England's defense. And for much of the season, the Patriots defense has been certainly, would we call it an elite unit? I wouldn't have a problem calling it that. It's been a unit that has deserved and merited respect from the betting markets on a fairly consistent basis. However, when we look at the Pats down the stretch and in all their losses, the game against the Texans moved the football up and down the field again. The game against Kansas City, the Chiefs didn't move the ball all game, but they moved the ball last week against Miami. Bye on the line. Home field edge in the second round on the line. Defense can't get a stop. That concerns me here against a Tennessee offense that has overachieved, no question. Primed to come back to earth. Patriots don't lose in the first round. I understand that.
Because they don't play in the first round.
Exactly. But total-wise, it's... If you like the Patriots, I would lean under. If you like the Titans, I would lean over. I don't think that if it's 16-13, New England wins and Tennessee covers, that's certainly within the realm of reason. But Titans are winning this game. I think they're getting in the 20s to do it. And if the Titans aren't winning this game, I think it's the Patriots defense that shuts them down. So I do think there's at least modest correlation between New England and under and Tennessee and over.
Teddy Covers, what an honor to have you with us, brother. I'm going into the playoffs on a 7-1 NFL run. I've won 4 of my last 5% plays. I have a 5% play for this weekend. All our listeners can get it for half price. Use the promo code PREZ20. And of course, if you want 7 days of Teddy Covers, you get $40 off. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Buy Teddy. Use the promo code SAVE40. Teddy, we're going to stick to totals the whole way through the show. Let's talk Minnesota, New Orleans. Again, another line move towards the over. Came out at 47, now at 49.5. Again, I look at this game to go under, but this is the game that worries me the most from an under perspective. I will not be betting the under in this game, nor the over. Frankly, I won't be betting anything in this game, but it should be a doozy. Where are you going?
Yeah, I haven't made a move on this game, and I'm not likely to make a move on this game before kickoff. From a side standpoint, I think it's a hard game. From a total standpoint, I think it's a very hard game.
I will tell you, Teddy, just to jump in, I am going to probably bet New Orleans in the first quarter and the first half, and I'm going to watch in the in-game. If Minnesota does come out and score early, I will be betting fairly substantially it's money on New Orleans if I can get that in-game under 3. And if New Orleans comes out early and goes up, well, then I win my original bet. So the way I'm really approaching this game is I'm going to bet, say, 2 units on New Orleans in the first half and the first quarter, and then double that bet if Minnesota goes up on New Orleans in the in-game line.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of teasers in the NFL playoffs. But certainly when we talk about teaser possibilities this week that fall into basic strategy, it's a week where you have 3 choices, and then they're all, teasing Buffalo up from 2.5 to 8.5 is a positive expectation wager. Teasing New Orleans from 7.5 down to 1.5 is a positive expectation wager, and teasing Philadelphia from plus 1.5 up to plus 7.5 is also positive expectation. So those 3 are all. They're going to be in a lot of teams.
Well, and Tennessee. I mean, look, it's not as positive because you're only going to cross.
No, the Tennessee doesn't.
I was just going to say you're only crossing 7. I get it, but it's still a positive. It's not as good, but it's still a positive expectation. Plus, it's a great bet.
Most certainly not positive expectation. And if you do the math on it, and Prez, and I'm sure you've done it in the past, when you don't cross 3, 4, 6, and 7 with your teaser, it's no longer a positive expectation bet. You need to get all 4 of those numbers in the numbers that you've gained for your teaser.
You don't bet online, right?
I'm sorry?
You don't bet online. You bet live in the books?
I have offshore accounts. I haven't used them nearly as much in the modern era.
Yeah,
I make 90% plus of my wagers legally in Nevada.
Yeah, so what I love about some of these offshore books, especially Bet365, is, they have the alternate lines on every single game. So it's like I do my teasers any way I want, where I can take, New Orleans down to 1, and I can take Buffalo to 7.5. I don't have to do 6 across the board.
Sure, but you're paying a price for each point that you're getting, each half point that you're getting. So conceptually, Tennessee does not fit into the same positive expectation categories as Buffalo, New Orleans, and Philadelphia fall into this week when it comes to teasers. And I want to make that very clear that Tennessee is not the type of game that any pro will put on their teaser card this weekend, on a 6-point teaser.
Okay. You ready? Last game.
Yeah, I'm ready. I just don't want when you give out bad info.
Hey, dude, correct me anytime you want. Last game, Seattle, Philadelphia.
See, that's the way it works, man. You're like, please do the pod with me. Please do the pod with me. Then I do it with you, and you're like, I don't want to do it with you. Let's get this thing over with.
Well, I want to get this thing over with because, frankly, I am a divorced man, and I have kids 1 week on, 1 week off. And my 1 week off begins as soon as I get the show over with. Put them in my car and drive them to their mother's house. That's worthy of serious celebration, Teddy.
You love your daughters.
More than life itself, dude. And my daughters are incredible. Like, I have amazing children.
You're just trying to get rid of them for a week.
Well, I don't need the whole week. Just a couple of days. Have a little break. I was with them in Jamaica. Seattle, Philadelphia, dude. We're keeping on the fact that we're only going to talk totals. This one's moved down. Not much. 46, now it's 45. And I get it because, again, I'm looking at the under. And I'm telling people flat out, I'm looking at the under in every game. And I will be likely betting the under in 3 of the 4 games. Teddy, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, under. It's the only way I'm going to play this one. I mean, look, you want to see a home road dichotomy? Look at the Eagles' defense. Okay, they've had a handful of bad games on the road.
Yeah.
The Miami game certainly stands out late in the season as a bad game for that defense on the highway. But at home, Eagles defense
Lights
has
out.
shut everybody down. And I mean, game in, game out. You know, have they given up a touchdown the last 6 quarters at home? They haven't. The Giants were up 17-3 at the half, and they didn't score in the second half. They didn't score in overtime, and Dallas didn't get a touchdown against them.
Yeah, except Philadelphia played in New York.
I'm talking about the first
Oh, the first one, the
meeting
the 23-17 or 24-17 game, correct?
Yeah, the game where the Giants led
Yes.
17-3 at the half, and the Eagles
Oh,
shut them down after halftime. I'm talking about Philly's
dude, that
home
was
game.
my
Don't worry.
biggest win of the year.
When Philly came back to win that game and
Yeah,
cover?
took 3 in-game bets on that game.
They didn't cover.
No, the in-game bets. I took 3 of them, and I covered all 3 in that one. That was a beauty. There was a moment. There was a time where Philly on the money line was like +4 something, and I took that too. That game gives me a lot of enjoyable memories. Anyway, talk to me. You like the under just like me.
Well, the point is, the Eagles defense is real at home. Seattle, however, is not an under team by any. I mean, Philly is a dead nuts under team right now. Obviously, a team when you're talking about when you're missing your best offensive lineman and your top 3 receivers and your top however many running backs, and Zach Ertz is now hurt.
It's crazy.
And that's a huge injury for Philly. I mean, Ertz has been their go-to guy. Philly is certainly an under team, but boy, the Seahawks aren't an under team by any stretch of the imagination. And if they fall behind, they got to chuck it around. That's what they're going to do. The running game isn't there for the Seahawks, and I don't know if they're going to be able to run the football against that Eagles defense anyway. So I would anticipate this potentially to be a chuck it around type of game for Seattle.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
I don't believe in the Seahawks defense. I'm not a Seahawks defensive believer. But Russell Wilson, what does he do, man? The dude makes plays. So the lean is under. I haven't bet it yet, and I'm not sure that I will.
Yeah, and I don't think Seattle has any choice but to chuck the ball around the field. Marshawn did nothing last game against San Fran.
What did you think he was going to do?
Nothing. I didn't think all because I said he did nothing doesn't mean I'm implying that I expected him to do anything. I mean, Marshawn did nothing in Oakland. What was he going to have a year off of football, come back and be beast mode? There is already a beast mode. He's in Tennessee. Don't you think?
Okay. His vertical was good on the touchdown.
Yeah, he did jump high. Yeah, he Greg Louganis it.
But exactly. But Seattle's not going to run the football up and down the field against Philadelphia. So when you talk about a team that is likely to throw the football, it extends the game, it creates more opportunities for big plays, and it makes me a little bit more reluctant to play the under in this one, especially given some of the issues that Philly has had against the better passing teams that they've faced. Not a healthy secondary for the Eagles either.
I had Tennessee on the money line yesterday. Whew, what an ending, huh?
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt, no. And that was, with that said, Teddy, outstanding onside kick. I mean, that was probably the best onside kick I've ever seen.
Okay, bounced right. That's what it took.
But I mean, it was like right in the guy's hands. Like there was nobody around. It was unbelievable. There's been a lot more onside kicks recovered this year. I remember in the NFL, I don't know which game. I think Atlanta, 3 in one game. The one didn't count because of a penalty. But yeah, a lot of onside kicks and a lot of missed field goals. But that's a whole nother show. Dude.
Yeah, and the onside kicks, the math on the onside kicks will not support your assessment.
Okay, fair enough. It just stands out to me. It's not like I bet the damn things, dude. I'm like in game going, plus 8,400 on an onside kick being recovered. Dude, thank you for joining me today, brother. I really appreciate it. And we're going to do this once every now and again. I know you're busy. You got that daily show, 1 hour with Ralph every day. So I'm really thrilled that you made time for me.
Sure, hey, my pleasure. But if you're going to do promos, why don't you promo that show?
Go ahead.
You're in charge of the promos on this, but yeah, watch Ralph and I every day, noon to 1 Pacific, 3 to 4 Eastern, every weekday on Sports Central for Bettors. And the name of the show, of course, is called WagerTalk.
And where do they find you?
Find me on Twitter at Teddy_covers.
No, where do they find the show, genius?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, you tell me. I'm too busy.
I don't know. They find it on the Sports Grid TV network. Follow me on Twitter. We'll give you a link.
Okay, there you go. Oh, Teddy, we love you. I love the beard, by the way.
No, so this is me like way out of control. So the haircut comes this afternoon, and when I get the haircut, we'll trim the beard down a little bit. I don't like looking like Santa.
Okay, old man. Love you, bro.
Cheers.